So we're trying to merge our feature branch to the main branch, but Git tells us that it cannot do this merge automatically and that there are merge conflicts. In this video, we will cover different types of Git conflicts. We will see why they happen and how we can resolve them. Let's get started. So the most common type of Git conflict is when both of the branches change the same lines of the same file. In this case, Git doesn't know which version to keep, and that's why it raises merge conflict and lets the user decide which version to keep. But this is not the only source of merge conflict. Another case is when both of the branches add a new file with the same name. In this case, Git finds two files with the same name that have different content, and then again, it doesn't know which version to keep. And again, it raises a merge conflict. Another type of merge conflict happens when both branches rename the same file. In this case, Git sees the same file content but two different names. And again, it doesn't know which file name it needs to keep, and it asks the user to make a decision. And finally, merge conflicts can happen when branch A modifies or renames a file while branch B deletes the same file. In this case, again, Git doesn't know whether to keep the modified version or to delete the file. Since we already covered the first case in the previous video, in this video we will cover the remaining three causes of Git conflicts and we will see how we can resolve each of them. Let's dive in. Alright, I've opened this simple project in VS Code which has two Python files and two text files. Now let's create the add versus add conflict. So for this I'm gonna first check which branch we are. So we are on branch main. I'm gonna create a new branch called feature add, and then I'm gonna switch to that branch. And here we are, we can check we're on the feature branch add. Now I'm gonna create the file using echo command. So I'm gonna say feature add created this file, and then I will save it as new file.txt. So we see that we have created this new file, and now I'm gonna check the status. So we have the new file, I'm gonna add new file, git is status, and now we can commit. So let's commit git commit -m. I would say add new file in feature add branch. Let's call it like this. And here we go. We have our new commit with this commit message. Now let's switch back to the main. And we are on main now, and let's make the same file name but with different content. So we can use again the echo command. Now I'm gonna say main created this file. I'm gonna use the same exact file name to create the merge conflict. Now let's check git, let's add the file. Let's check again and git commit. And let's give a message name add new file.txt in main branch. Okay, all right, we're all good. So we have this new commit here, this one. All right, now let's first clear. Now let's merge the feature add branch to the main branch. So we are already on branch main, and we will do git merge feature add. Here we go, we see the conflict, and it tells us add/add, and Git tells us that there's a merge conflict in the new file and that automatic merge failed. All right, so basically Git asks us to fix this conflict. So there are different ways of fixing this, but the simplest way is just to open up the file and basically manually decide which version you want to keep. Let's say I want to keep the one from the feature branch, which is this one. I can basically remove everything else manually like this and keep this version. So manually we did it. Of course, you can use VS Code if you know which version you want to keep, or you can also use git checkout --hours or theirs. But the simplest way is just to open up the file and then manually basically decide which version you want to keep. All right, so we're good now with our version. We decided, we just need to do, I'm gonna also do git status before. So we can see that git status also tells us that both of the branches added this new file. Let's see what git ls files -s shows us. And here we can also see the merge conflict, because in this staging, in this index number, we see 2 and 3 for this file. And the reason we're not seeing 1 is because this is a new file and there was no merge base. So this 2 is basically the version that we have in the main branch, and this 3 is the version that we have in the feature add branch. So basically we need to fix this, and to fix this we would just need to do git add new file, because we already solved the conflict manually in the file, and we can just now add it. Now if we again take a look at ls files to our index, now we see that they are all zeros, which means we have resolved the conflicts. Now we can just do, I'm gonna clear, I'm gonna come back, and now we can just also do git status. You will see that everything is okay, and Git is telling us that we need to use git commit to conclude the merge. So we will do so, git commit, and then we can change the message here. I'm gonna keep it the same. Shift colon, right Q. All right, so let's check. Now we have this merge commit, so we have successfully merged the feature add branch to the main. I'm gonna clear. Now I will create the rename versus rename conflict, and I will show you how we can resolve it. I'm gonna check which branch we are. I'm gonna create a new branch named feature rename, and I'm gonna switch to that branch, feature rename. And here we are, we can check that we're on the correct branch. And all I'm gonna do here is to rename this file name. So I'm gonna use the command move new file name, and I'm gonna give it a name, file feature text. And then we can check the status. We can use git add dot, which will add everything. And Git is smart enough to know that we have renamed the file. So let's commit this change. We will say rename new file to file feature. We can see with git log that we have the new commit in the feature branch, and we are one commit ahead of the main. Let's switch back to the main branch. We are on the main branch now. And let's also rename the new file again. This time I will call it file main. All right, now let's check git add everything, check the status, and now we can commit. Let's say rename new file to file main. All right, let's check the log, and we see that we have the new file in the main. So our main branch and the feature branch have diverged. Now let's merge. Let's clear to have more space. Now I'm gonna merge the feature branch to the main branch. So first we are on the main branch. Let's confirm this. And now git merge feature rename. And here we are. We see again, we get a merge conflict, this time rename versus rename. And Git basically tells us that new dash file rename to file main in the head. So the head is the main branch, our current branch, and to file underline feature in the feature rename branch. All right, how do we resolve this conflict? It's very easy. Both of the files have the same content, so we can quickly check. So they have the exact same content. We have just renamed it in two branches. So what we do is we just decide which one to keep. Let's say we decide to keep the one from the main. So what we do, I'm gonna use git status also to show you what git status tells us. Tells us that added by them, which is the feature branch. So this is a new file that has been added by them is the feature branch, the branch we are merging the changes from, and us is the main or the current branch. And we have the file underline main in the main branch. And both of the branches have deleted this file, new file. So we will use git remove command to remove the one that we don't want. So we don't want this feature one. So I'm gonna type file feature. We will remove it. I'm gonna check the status again. And I want to basically keep this one. So I will add this, but I also need to, so let's first add the one we want. So I will do git add file main. And I will check the status to see what Git tells us to do. Basically, Git still tells us that there are unmerged paths and that we need to resolve this. Basically, we need to confirm that we don't want the old file. So we can just confirm that with git remove new file .text, and we should be now good to go. Let's make sure. Yes, so it says all conflicts fixed, and we can type git commit. I'm gonna this time give a message: resolve rename versus rename conflict. All right, so let's check. Let's check git log, and we see that we have the merge commit. All right, let's clear. And finally, I will show you the modify versus delete conflict. So I'm gonna again check which branch we are. I'm gonna create a new branch called feature delete. Let's switch to that branch. And we are on that branch. And now I'm just gonna remove this file. All right, so that file is removed, and let's check the status. So I'm gonna do git add to add everything, git status, and now I'm gonna commit. So basically we're just removing this file in the feature branch and committing that change. Delete file main. All right, let's check. Here's the new commit. We're all good. So let's switch back to the main. Now we're on the main branch. And let's say the main branch modifies this file. So let's say main modify. So I'm just gonna modifies this file. I just added a line which modifies this. So let's check the status. Now let's add. All right, git status, we have it in the index. Now let's commit it, git commit -m. Let's say modify file main. All right, so we have the new commit here. All right, so the main modifies this file underline main, while the feature delete branch deletes that file. Let's try and merge the feature delete branch and see if we will get the merge conflict. So let's merge feature delete branch. And here we are. We have again a conflict, and this time Git says it's modify versus delete. And again, it says that this file underline main, deleted in the feature branch and modified in the head. And the head is again the current branch or the main branch essentially. And to resolve this, we need to decide whether we keep this file or if we don't want to keep this file. So if we don't want to keep this file, we would just do git remove, then the file name. Let's check the status. And if we want to keep it, we will add it. So either we do git remove and then the file, and then we tell Git, hey, remove this. Or if we want to keep it, we will say git add file and the name. Let's say we decide to keep it, keep the modifications. We don't want to delete this. We want the modified version. So we would do this. And now if we do git status, we see that it says on branch main, all conflicts fixed, but you're still merging. So now we can do git commit, and we can just click enter and shift colon and enter. And here we are. Let's clear and let's check the log. So we see we have this merge branch feature delete, and all looks good. So in this video, we covered the 3 remaining types of Git conflicts. We saw why Git raises these conflicts and how we can solve each of them. See you in the next videos.